Hey guys, Sia Cannon here with another monthly marketing tip. This month I want to talk to you about newsletters. Again, you say? Why yes, again. You may be sick of me saying it, but I still firmly believe a well-crafted newsletter is one of the best sales tools an author can possess. What more could I say about newsletters? A lot, actually. Today I'm going to be talking to you about the dreaded part of newsletters, the unsubscribes. How to mitigate unsubscribes, why they're not always a bad thing, and what you can do to spruce up your unsub preferences to make that button work in a positive way. Let's get the easy stuff out of the way first. Yes, you really must have an unsubscribe link. It's required by not only the canned spam law, but also GDPR and a slew of other consumer protection laws from various countries. And honestly, it'd be kind of creepy to force someone to stay on your newsletter list if they didn't want to be there. Slow your roll there, Buffalo Bill. Thankfully, almost every EMS provider includes an unsubscribe link in your campaign by default. That being said, and really reiterating the creepy factor of forcing people to stay on your list, do not try to hide this link. Do not make it super small or make it the same color as the background in a tactic to hide it. You're not only being creepy, but you're infecting your list with a slew of angry people and costing yourself more money to keep those folks, on top of being more vulnerable to increased spam complaints. This brings me to my next topic. Unsubscribes are not always a bad thing. Subscribers cost money. And if you're going to be paying to talk to potential readers, you want to make sure that they're actually interested in what you're selling so that one day their interest can convert to a sale or at the very least a review. Otherwise, these people are dead weight that you're paying for. Don't take unsubscribes personally because for the most part, that person just wasn't interested enough to stick around or they've chosen to get info about your books in another way. Let me give you an example. Have you ever gone into a store to find something only to leave empty-handed because what you were searching for, it just wasn't there? Well, it's the same with these subscribers. And we should make leaving the store a better experience for them, rather than hiding the exit, guilt-tripping them, or looking at them like they may have stolen something. So what do I mean by making unsubscribes a pleasant experience? Well, making the process easy is a big part of giving the user a good experience. Those who leave with a good experience are more likely to come back or to check you out on their preferred platform. One way I like to say goodbye to subscribers is to use some humor. And I'm a millennial, so of course there's GIFs. And yes, it's GIFs. I do this with a custom unsubscribe page. Now, not all EMS providers make this so easy. But for those people that are on MailerLite like me, you can change up your unsubscribe page with some important information. Again, I use some humor, a GIF, and also tell them where they can find me outside of my newsletter by listing my socials. In addition to this, I give them the option to move to my new release only group that only gets an email when I have a new book out. Some people just don't like their inboxes filled up, but they still want to know when the really important stuff is happening. So when a user clicks this button, they're moved to a new group and they no longer get my bi-weekly emails, but they are not unsubscribed. They do get taken to my website for a confirmation of their choice, and yes, it does have a Barney Stinson highest of fives GIF if you want more confirmation of my millennial status. But GIFs aside, if you only give a user one choice, then they have nowhere to go to but away. I think of this kind of like when you go to a store and they give out a rain check for an item that was out of stock. This is a promise that when there is something that the reader wants, then they can be notified and they can come pick it up whenever. Now notice how I don't make the unsubscribe from all emails button smaller. That's because if someone wants to leave, I'm not stopping them. Get out the door, that's fine. And this again, it creates a positive experience. It's really win-win here. Either they stay and they usually buy when I have a new release, or they leave, and that's one less sub that I have to pay for, and a new, more interested person will eventually take their place. And the previous person, they might see me again on social media, and they might purchase from there, or they may even share one of my posts, and they might have a friend who buys it. Another important feature is the resubscribe feature. You can turn this on in your MailerLite account. It just puts a resubscribe button right there on the unsubscribe success page, because sometimes people change their minds, or sometimes we hit the wrong button, or, a cat jumps up on the keyboard. And this makes it easy for them to change their minds without having to hunt down your sign-up form and have to re-sign up again. And finally, how can you minimize unsubscribes in the first place? Well, there will always be unsubscribes, but here are some ways that you can cultivate more interest in your content. Don't sell right off the bat or too frequently. If the first thing a reader sees from you is an ad for your book, they're less likely to actually buy it. The same applies to selling too many things in one newsletter or every single newsletter being really salesy without any basic human sort of connection. Warm up welcome segment is a great way to make the reader feel very valued and let them know about you and what you write without pushing for hard sales. And this is the perfect time to introduce your characters with character art or character profiles, your unique settings, or to give out free lead-in magnets that may have more info about the way that you write and even the world that you're writing in that you hope for them to buy, like the next book in the series. The next thing is ask questions. Readers like to feel like they're a part of something, like their opinion matters to you, and that they're not just a number. I ask a question at the end of each segment of my newsletter, and so that means that there are several different things that a reader can email me back with. This not only increases your relationship with the reader, but also increases the chances of your next newsletter landing in their inbox because they actually took the time to email you back. So that kind of trains their inbox to say, hey, you are a valued person and they do want to get your emails. The next one is segment your list. Segment your list or group your list so that you can record the behaviors of your readers and their buying and reading habits. You can then use that information to send them only content that's tailored to their reading interests and their buying habits. So if they particularly love this one kind of genre that you write, or if they particularly like these kinds of sales or these kinds of promotions, then you can send to them during those times that you have that sort of promotion or that kind of sale on a certain book. And that is more likely to be opened by them and more likely that they're going to actually click on it and make a sale. And the last point is provide value. I think I've said this a million times. You really have to provide value to keep people on your newsletter list or to keep people just in general in life. You can provide value to readers in many ways that have nothing to do with selling your books. This can be in the form of free excerpts or side stories, giveaways, newsletter swaps with other readers in your genre who are not your competition, by the way, book fairs, reader polls, downloadable content like character art, bookmarks, even quizzes and games offer value. These can all offer value that keep a reader opening your emails until they make the choice to support you financially with a sale or by reviewing your work. So yes, I still had a lot to say about newsletters, and I'm sure I'll have more in the future. I just really like newsletters, and I do think they are one of the best tools an author can have. But I hope today's tip has helped you, and as always, I'm happy to answer any questions you have about today's tip or marketing in general. You can always email me at info@fiction-atlas.com with your questions, or check me out on my websites below. I hope you have a lovely month, and I'll see you next time. Bye!